Overhow can be 45 degrees, backhand, full hand, or it can be straight above. So I think overhow is 3, correct me if I'm wrong, in HEMA and WMA. 45, forehand, backhand, and straight down, overhow. Mittel hut, again, that's my understanding of the terminology. And then we catch it as horizontal or middle strike is a mittel hut. In the German longsword, Italian longsword, I don't know the name. Middle, horizontal. Yeah. Mittel hut, I think. You can do false edge too. So thumb and false edge, mittel hut. And the flavour of HEMA or WMA with the longsword or even Kriegsmesser is, the flavour seems to be sort of gravity. A bit like a top fighter on BJJ or no-gi, so the flavour of the system is that you hands high and you sort of let the last third, again in my understanding of WMA, you let the last third sort of drop, so you hands high and then you let the gravity do the work. So there's a lot of that. There are undercuts to, like an understab from the hip and the other hip and then the central stab, but there is, as I say, the general flavour, there's a lot of this sort of gravity usage of hands high, whether it's a false cut or a plunge cut. Shielhau or Scheitelhau and Crumpau, crooked cut and plunge cut, is making use of gravity by having sort of a lower, the hands higher than the tip, so a slight angle. So again, overhow, 45 left and right 45, and then straight down, and then the mittel hut horizontal, middle straight, false edge and true edge, left and right, and then unterhow, undercut or rising strike, which may be called a wakigami in kenjutsu. It's this sort of from here and rising, and then from here, very like judo and karate, hara or dantien, hip and stopping power, stopping the throw in judo and karate, stopping the takedown. So this hip power, whatever the Western word for it is, the Western version, it's the same sort of idea behind it, same sort of principle. Is here, unterhow, or I think wakigami in Jo staff and in kenjutsu would be the sweeping sort of rising wakigami. Maybe it's a bit more exaggerated in the Jo staff, I don't know, but wakigami and unterhow. Yeah, and thwarting cut is like a mittel hut with a false edge, but maybe with a higher hand. I am not 100% expert on this, but from what I understand of the thwarting cut, it is just a crosswise. It's an interception, just like the unarmed version would be, like in Wing Chun, or even another armed version would be in rapier to displace the blade, or in Eastern swords with the curved thing to attack the attack, to cut the hand or the arm or the forearm or the elbow or the wrist to attack the attack. So that's kind of what the best Western example, in my opinion, or one of the best Western examples, is the Zwerkow, the crosswise cut or the cross hue cut. It's an interception, you're attacking the attack. It's one of the most common cuts, I think it's one of the most. So crosswise cut, sort of with the false crosswise cut. And again, it's an interception just like in Wing Chun with the bridging forearm punch. You attack the attack. So it's almost like a double strike or a double knockout. It's almost at the same time. It's like a split minute second after, but in reality it's almost at the exact same time. So again, Wing Chun, interception, rapier, interception. You've got your, is it third and fourth revers here in L stance. You can displace outside and inside, and this is just what's happening with the longsword and any two-hander really with a false edge, like a Kriegsmesser, so it doesn't have to be longsword. Any Western or for that matter Eastern, is the false edge is doing an interception. It's not blocking a counter, it's attacking the attack, like the bridging punch, like a BG, like a gunting in Filipino Cali. It's an interception there. Or if you had the right hand, because the camera's making my left and right reversed, you can't really see properly, so this is my left and this is my right, but the camera's flipping it, getting it all jiggledy-piggledy. It's getting it confused, but it's there, and there, overhow. So we started overhow. 1, 2, 3, thwarting cut here, and here, middle hut. So maybe middle hut is true edge. I'm not sure. It's more, I think the Zwerkow is more with your thumb and like a false edge style grip with the thumb. So it's a more sort of helicopter kind of manoeuvre, whereas middle hut is more of a palm up standard kind of cut. Again, from my understanding, which is not infallible or omnipotent, it's just my basic understanding.
Sorry.
Come in. Come in.
Sure.
Sorry. Pretty used to it.